Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Hope you all had a really good Christmas and a good New Year. I know I did, but missed the show. Actually, really missed the show, and there's been so much going on, so much for us to talk about as well. Here, as always, with Luke. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Like I say, we've been trying to tick the channel over, with previews and reviews, but first time we've had a chance to get together and talk West Ham. And like you say, mate, so much has gone on, with over Christmas. Obviously, we had that period with the 4 wins, and we looked like we were really turning into a bit of a decent side, And by all means, we are a decent side, mate, at the moment. But obviously, as always, typical West Ham. What happens? We have the in out of it saga.
Yeah, it's all been going on. Obviously, when it first sort of broke, Arnie's not happy. He wants to leave. Gutted, obviously, because he is, regardless of what you say about him, he's obviously one of our best players. He's been on great form, been really good for us. But then you sign. What's annoying is you get yourself resigned to the fact that he's gone, and you go, all right, fair enough, he's going to leave, let him go, and you kind of make peace with it, and then it all falls through, and he ends up. It looks like he's going to be staying, and now I wish he'd have just gone.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, mate.
Like I say, I like the guy. He's on the back of my shirt. Obviously, I knew I jinxed it when I got the shirt. But yeah, for me, like I say, when it was like he was going to go, it was like, we'll just go then. With the Payet one, obviously, there's loads of links and stuff between that and the Payet situation. With Payet, as all the channels, all the TalkSport, all the radios say, when Payet left, we didn't have much else there. Now we've got Felipe Anderson. We look like Nasri's going to be a really top signing. There's good players there that can do a job for us to the end of the season. We're not going to get relegated. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I said the same thing to you, that I think that's a big reason why myself and so many fans now are of the opinion of, well, it's fine, just let him go. Like I say, when we had Dimitri Payet, we were a one-man team. Yeah, we had Lanzini, but we were relying so much on Payet, whereas with Arnie, we've got other good players that can fill in. We still need a good striker. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it hurt us as much. And obviously we see when he was out, we got 4 wins when he was out injured. So we can do all right without him. The big question now is...
what attitude are we going to get now?
Yeah, exactly. How is he going to perform between now and the end of the season? That is the question.
Yeah. What do you make of... some of the rumours about the gambling, and let me just strictly say rumours, because obviously there's no confirmation on that. What do you make on that?
Well, first of all, I have to say it seems to have come from a few different places and a few quite reputable places as well. So I reckon there's probably something to it. It doesn't surprise me, mate. Like, in general, how many footballers in general have these kind of problems? Didn't the same thing happen with Etherington?
Yeah, and West Ham actually bailed him out with that. I think they paid about 800 grand off or something like that. I may be wrong with my figures, guys. Don't jump on me with that.
Yeah, but no, you're right, mate. It definitely was. The club definitely helped him out paying off his debts because he was in the same kind of trouble. And you give these young people. Like, don't forget, like, you're talking about people in their 20s. You give them more money than most of us will ever see. They're going to need to fuel that with something. Do you know what I mean? And you can see why gambling is a problem. You can. It wouldn't surprise me if it's true. It's very stupid of him if it is true, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. Yeah, with the Arnie thing, mate, like you say, it's just about attitude now. Obviously, he's got history with it, with Stoke as the way he forced the move. There's the famous line from Jose as well, you are working with a man-child. I think that was the wording, something like that.
Irony.
Yeah. I hope, listen, for me, again, I'm not Arnie, and I love West Ham. Arnie's got no affiliation with West Ham. He didn't grow up watching it. But for me, if I was Arnie now, and it looks like the move's not going to go, I would go, right, I'm going to do like a sort of Di Canio-y sort of esque sort of thing. I'm going to try and fire these guys as close as I can to an FA Cup or as high up the league and go out like a hero sort of thing. But
yeah, I mean that's the hope. That's what you want. You want him to perform and if he's still, obviously got his heart set, he wants to leave in the summer, it seems like that's probably what will happen. Hopefully he knuckles down and, earns that.
Yeah, like I say, mate, I just hope we don't see the Arnie that don't run anymore. Because it could very easily be that he could just turn up and go through the motions, a bit like Dimmy was doing towards the end.
Yeah, the thing is, I think the one thing is, if he does do that, I don't think Pellegrini will stand for it. I think Pellegrini won't pick him. He won't be in the squads. And if he starts having that kind of attitude, he's not going to get a move to anywhere in the summer. So hopefully he realises that, and he sort of knuckles down and does his best basically till the summer. Yeah.
What is ultimately upsetting about it all, mate, is obviously it started to look like we was building a really fantastic side. Listen, we've still got a fantastic side if he leaves, but Arnie, Anderson, Nasri, Lanzini's, Yarmolenko's when they come back, you put in there potentially Wilshere, Rice. You're building a bloody good side there.
Yeah.
Diop, Balbuena.
And ain't that just typical West Ham? Just when it looks like it's all going to start going right, it all starts going wrong.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is the thing as well. He's 29 years old, Arnautovic. If we move him on in the summer and we bring in a young replacement, happy days, we can still build that solid team. Don't forget, every time, I know it seems like he might play on it a little bit, but he seems like he's one bad challenge away from his knees being completely gone as well.
Yeah, he has been a bit wobbly this season in terms of little injuries and stuff and niggles.
Yeah, so I've got no issue really in moving him on at the end of the season, as long as we replace him with quality. That's it.
Yeah. So it was one of the questions actually. So I'll get it out of the way now because it links in nicely. Greg said, "Who would your number one target be if Arnie was to leave, either in the summer or now?" He wouldn't mind Mitrovic. I like Mitrovic, Again, Mitrovic would be someone worth buying if Arnie and Hernandez left. If you were having Mitrovic plus a Maxi Gomez, Bellotti, which no way Bellotti is coming to West Ham. He's one of the best Italian strikers out there at the moment.
I mean, I like Mitrovic. I don't think he's the kind of player that would fit into our team at the minute, the way we want to play. But 100%, he would be a fantastic option. It'd be a fantastic backup.
No, because I really like. Well, he's a bit too old now, but I really like Troy Deeney as well because he's a nasty. So he's something different. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Like I say, he's not technically the best player in the world, but he's that something different you can bring on to start rattling people.
I mean, yeah, as a sort of backup, something different, who's more reliable than Andy Carroll. Yeah, but I wouldn't be looking at those kind of players for a replacement for Arnautovic. I mean, you've got the main ones that we seem to have been linked with, obviously Maxi Gomez, which would be an unreal signing. Potentially the next Suarez would be an unbelievable signing. Hopefully that, it seems like we're still interested.
It would be a great show of intent anyway, wouldn't
massively.
it? Listen, he might not pay off, he might not adapt to the Premier League, but it's a great show of intent if you're going to spend £45 million on a 22-year-old striker.
Yeah, and then you've got the other one who was massively linked with was that Piatek. I'm probably
Piatek. It looks like he's going AC Milan apparently.
It looks like he's going to go to Milan, which is a shame because he's got some record this season.
But what about Bellotti, mate? Obviously, like I say, very unlikely that will happen, but what a signing that would be.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It would be. It would be a fantastic signing. That's the likes of your Bellotti's, Gomez, when it looked like it was potentially possible, Piatek. Those are the kind of players I want to see us going for. Those sort of young, promising talents. They're the sort of players I want to see us bring in now. And I have to say, I trust Pellegrini to bring in the right player.
100%.
And Husilos, their network, I trust them to bring in the right player.
Yeah. In terms of sort of some of the names lower down on the list, if you could say that, Michy Batshuayi, listen, he's rejected us a couple of times. I would still have him, though.
I would, definitely.
I would definitely still have him. He's a good player, and someone like Pellegrini seems to be able to get the best out of players. None of Pellegrini's signees, apart from, you maybe could argue Jack Wilshere, but that's a bit unfair on Jack, has been bad, have they? Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, no, not bad. We are still searching for that striker. If you think in the summer, Carroll will be gone. Hernandez could go.
Gonzo. Actually, I think you're going to touch on it now, mate. But Gonzo basically said very soon it could be that all four of them would go.
Absolutely. Perez, Arnautovic could all be gone. So we need a couple. So then you'd be looking. All right. So one name who we've been linked with in the last few days, who I would love to see come in, Edin Dzeko. Not as the main man, although he's good enough.
But he's a great squad player,
and he's good enough to be the main man. But
people argue it's becoming the Man City retirement home.
But he's a fantastic player. If you brought in,
look at Nasri. Nasri's fantastic.
If you brought in
29,
say Dzeko and Gomez, fantastic. Dzeko, Gomez, then you've got Silva coming through. That's what I want to see.
I think personally, it looks like Higuain is going to sign for Chelsea. I think we should be going to buy Giroud. I think we should be going in for Giroud for a quick fix.
Again, Giroud to me would be so. Like I say, for me, I'd be looking at your likes of your Gomez's as your young up and coming players, and then your Dzeko's, your Giroud's, that kind of player to complement them. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned your favourite mate, Callum Wilson.
I was going to go on to Callum, but listen, he's a bloody good player, and I made a proper point of watching him Saturday's game. What a goal, by the way, as well. We've got to give him credit. Fantastic goal. I just don't think he wants to come to us. There's a lot of rumours that he may want to go to Tottenham. And obviously that would possibly be the England front line then of Harry Kane and Callum Wilson up front.
At player. And like you said, for me, that was the difference. And I read this. This was the difference at the weekend was at one end of the pitch, one striker missed an open goal from 1 foot, and the other one banged in a volley from outside the box. That was the difference in the game. The figures being bandied about for him though are ridiculous. 75 million.
Not 75 million. I think I'd pay 45 for him.
45
purely because he's in England. You got to put that England thing in, and he's a proven Premier League goal scorer.
I mean, 45 million. If we sold Arnie for 45 million, I could stomach that, but 75 million.
Not 75. Not 75 million. No way. Not 75 million. And again, it begs that question: if Callum Wilson's worth 75 million, how much is Arnie worth if we sold him to a Premier League club?
Absolutely, mate. It's interesting. It's interesting. There doesn't seem to be much really happening in the transfer window in general. I can't see too much.
Yeah, no. On that as well, I was just reading actually. It was a good article by a West Ham fan, you might know him, Sam Inkersole, his name is. He's on Twitter a lot. And he's gone into detail about what Pellegrini has done in the January transfer windows throughout his career. In 3 years at Man City, he only signed one player in the January transfer window, and that was Wilfred Bonney for 28 million. So, from that experience, like I said, it would not surprise me if we do not sign anyone in this window, and it wouldn't bother me too much, if I'm honest.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't bother me either. I don't think we're not desperate. Like you say, we're not going to get relegated.
Unless they want to go and sign Zlatan on loan till March.
It's not going to happen.
Then it's not
like
happen,
people talking about getting Icardi and things like that. It's not going to happen. One of the best strikers in the world. It's not going to happen.
No.
One player, I was just looking up there, one player who we were linked with, who I would love to see come in, not a striker, but Almiron, playing in the playing for Atlanta, fantastic talent. It looks like he could be going to Newcastle, so I'd be quite gutted if he goes there. We miss out on him. The likes of Higuain to Chelsea, I would love to see that. I'd love to see him in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we did see him, didn't we? The opening game of the West Ham London Stadium. He's a bit lumpy. Probably needs to lose a bit of weight for the Premier League, but he's an absolute class finisher when he gets the chances. He literally is a one bang sort of person.
Some weird transfers as well. What about Kevin Prince Boateng going to Barcelona?
Yeah, that is very weird. But like you say, it's very quiet in general, though. Is it all going to kick off next week? Because there's only literally a week left, isn't there? Very interesting stuff. Obviously, some good news. Obviously, a bit old news now, but some of the best news that come out over Christmas, mate, is Declan Rice did finally sign the $30,000 a week contract. And listen, that is the best bit of business that West Ham have done in a long time.
Fantastic.
Because he's immense, isn't he? Listen, this ain't just us, Claret and Blue Sunglasses, and I like to think it's not just us. Fantastic. Oh yeah, been immense.
Oh yeah,
absolutely
100%, mate. And I don't think it is just West Ham fans. All the pundits, everyone's saying the same thing. It was important to get him to sign that contract, but realistically, if Man City come knocking in a year, 2 years' time, he probably will go. That's what I was going to go on to, mate. How long do you think we can hold on to him? Listen, if he gets in an England shirt in March, that year you're saying may all of a sudden go down 6 months. I think it really depends on what West Ham do as a club. It really does to me. If we show intent, because you've got the likes of Rice, you've got Felipe Anderson. If he carries on, those Diop, those players will not be at West Ham long term unless we show some real intent.
Even Anderson, mate, as well. Anderson, one more good year.
Yeah, I said Anderson, yeah.
I'm good friends with Man United fans in work, and they're all just like, well, he'll finally come to the club he was supposed to. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, mate, it's all about that intent, and we're not far away. Listen, look, who's sitting in 7th at the minute? I think it's Wolves, isn't it? Is it Wolves sitting in 7th? Or it's either Wolves or Watford. I can't remember. One of the two. They've spent some good money, and it just shows to actually get to 7th. It's anyone's really in that top sort of 7th to 12th. Yeah, anyone can finish 7th.
It really is. I'm just looking there at the table. So Watford 7th, Wolves 8th, Leicester 9th, and we're 10th. But there's literally 2 points difference. There's only between 7th and 12th. It's only 3 points in it. So it's so close at the minute. A lot of the pundits recently have been saying of that group, West Ham seem the most likely or have the best chance, the best squad to push for that top of the rest, sort of basically. Such a shame that Man United sacked off Mourinho, because I really think we would have overtaken them.
But Wolves do look a good outfit, though. That is going to be a tough game next week on Tuesday. That is going to be a tough game. Very tidy side they are, and they've beat us already. Obviously, with that man, Aman Traore, absolute beast of a player. So like you say, mate, it's what we've got to do in terms of intention. A couple of solid years finishing between 7th and 8th, and then listen, it's hard to break that sort of top 6. That top 6 is hard to break, but that is how you do it. It takes time.
Where do you think at the moment? Where do you think we'll finish?
If we can take that opportunity, when it comes again, to get 7th, I think we can finish about 8th. And I don't think we'll finish 7th because I expect us to lose to Wolves. And then we've got some tough games. We've got Liverpool, Man City. I think we've still got to play Man United, who are the form team at the minute. So 8th would be a good season for me.
8th would be a great season. It was said before the start of the season that Pellegrini's never finished below 8th in his career. And I can see him keeping that up. I think, and I really hope that we do. If we can finish in that 7th, 8th spots, that'd be fantastic. Top half, obviously, would be a decent season, especially considering the injuries and Arnautovic and all the rest of it. Top 10, top half would be a good season for me. But hopefully, I'm hoping for that 7th, 8th spot.
Yeah, but and also, mate, we'll talk about the game a little bit more. But obviously, it don't look like we're going to get relegated at all now. It'd be an absolute disaster. But now, go for that FA Cup as well. Yeah. Go for it. Absolutely go. Don't get me wrong, we could beat AFC Wimbledon the weekend and then get drawn against Man City and it's all over anyway. But
see, that's the thing. If you look at the actual, if you look at the draw, you've got
there's a lot of all Premier League
Arsenal,
ties,
Man United, Newcastle, Watford, City, Burnley, be an interesting game. Palace, Tottenham. So it's
there's a few. There's a few of the bigger boys could potentially fall. So little summary of the season so far, mate. Obviously, we've sort of around the sort of halfway point, just over the halfway point. Like you say, we are sitting in 10th, 31 points, 9 wins, 4 draws, 10 losses. What do you say so far,
fantastic.
Mate?
especially considering how we started the season, 4 losses in a row. Fantastic. I think Pellegrini is the best manager we've probably had in my lifetime, in my memory. Genuinely, I believe that. I don't think we've ever had a better manager under like since I've been following West Ham. And I love the philosophy he's bringing to the team. I love that trying to instill a big club mentality. I love the way he plays. It's attacking. Fantastic. And like I say, considering how we've been hit with injuries and like the likes of Arnautovic wanting to leave and things like that, I am over the moon with how this season's going. I really am. Fantastic.
Yeah, I agree, mate. All of these signings, like I say, have been really good. Like, shame Yarmolenko got injured, because that would be so dynamic that at a minute. Anderson, Nasri, Yarmolenko, that would be unbelievable. And goals everywhere. Defence, obviously, was a brand new defence with Balbuena and Diop. Fantastic. Really missing Balbuena as well. Ogbonna sort of stepped his game up a little bit, but Balbuena is, he's the calm head next to Diop, because Diop doesn't look as assured, but I think that's because Ogbonna maybe makes him a bit nervous. Even Cresswell looks sort of back to the player he was last few performances. Zabaleta's fantastic. Fabianski, probably one of the signings of the seasons as well. It all looks good. It's all good. And credit to him as well. Another one who signed a new contract recently, Grady Diagana. He's got no thing in putting youth in as well. He'll chuck youth in. Probably Zande Silva will start the weekend as well. We've had Coventry play in the FA Cup as well. We've had Joe Powell play. It's just great to see, looking around the club. It's good vibe at the moment. Yeah,
absolutely. Fantastic. Really, really pleased with the direction we're going in.
So, obviously, FA Cup the weekend, mate. And it is AFC Wimbledon, a team we've beaten already, 3-1. We did make a bit of a mess of it. I think we was 1-0 down for a very long time. And then Diop's got an absolute cracker. He was just like, go on, mate, shoot, shoot. And I think he's pulled off probably a better shot than Antonio's pulled off all season.
It's like I said it at the weekend. Like, we need to start finding him every time he takes a shot.
Oh God!
But I have to say, do you know what? I do actually want to say, while we're talking about him, I've been one of Antonio's biggest critics.
I
slagged the man off constantly, and I have to say, the last few weeks he's been fantastic. He really has. He can't shoot. He needs to stop. He needs to get. He still hasn't got that football brain, that composure. But his work rate, his effort has been top notch.
Oh mate, on the turn, he's fantastic. If he spins that right back, left back, he's gone. Yeah. And that was a bit like last few weeks. Been bowling Antonio, which is pure power and drive. He's got no technique. He's never going to have any technique, but it's something different. I do think it's a bit harsh that Snoddy's not been starting, if I'm honest, because I'm a big fan of Snoddy. Snoddy's, and that's another thing for Pellegrini as well. He sees something in Snoddy in pre-season, like he's technically very good. Put him in. He's been one of our best players, Snoddy, as well this year.
Yeah. Great to see him turn it around after it looked like his West Ham career was finished.
Yeah, so back to the FA Cup, mate. What do you think in terms of, and what sort of side do you think we'll be putting out?
I'm actually just looking now at when we the first game we played we played a decent team. Adrian was in goal. I imagine Adrian will stay in goal. Cresswell started on the left. I'm guessing it'll probably be Masuaku this time. Ogbonna, Diop in the middle. Could see the same. I don't know who else we can play. Yeah. Zabaleta on the right. Although I think I was reading that Fredericks, is he back in training?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, so maybe Fredericks will start. Obviously, we have got Wolves on the Tuesday or the Wednesday night. I can't remember.
Obiang, Rice, and then we played Yarmolenko on the right. Obviously, Antonio is probably going to play there. Possibly Diangana actually will probably start.
Yeah, Grady. Yeah.
Perez, Chicharito, and Snodgrass. It wouldn't surprise me to see Chicharito start. Actually, get some minutes. It'll probably be a similar looking team. Just looking there, they had a man sent off after 18 minutes. They scored in the second, and then really second half we controlled the game. I imagine we'll set up similar, to be honest.
Yeah, I expect us to win.
Oh yeah,
I hope we win.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I did say, it is my birthday Saturday, so I hope we do win, because I always have a bad birthday because we always go out of this round.
It was my birthday for the Arsenal game, so you never know, mate. It could be good.
Yeah, it would be a nice way to do it. The only good birthday I remember is when we beat Man United when I was 16. So that was a great birthday. Yeah, so I expect us to win. Hopefully, you know, like you say, mate, there's a lot of all Premier League ties. Hopefully we can get through and just maybe avoid the Premier League teams, or just get one of the lower ender ones that maybe have relegation fears and the FA Cup sort of on the back burner. But yeah, hopefully we can push on. In terms of transfers, mate, do you think anything will happen in terms of selling as well? Maybe not buying, in terms of selling,
No,
potentially.
I can't see it. I don't think there's anyone who we would be actively looking to sell. Not in January anyway. Apparently the likes of Perez, Hernandez been sort of touted about. Obviously there were ridiculous rumours of Carroll going to Tottenham. But I don't think, because of our injury situation at the minute, I can't see us selling anyone, unless there is a player waiting to come in. But I can't see it. I don't think anything will happen.
Yeah. Obviously there was some rumours about Obiang as well.
Yeah.
At one point going to Fiorentina. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Again, another one I expect to go in the summer, potentially Obiang. Hopefully Jack can come back fit and actually do something for us, because we have got a very good player in there. What do you actually make of Nasri, mate? We didn't talk about him too much. For me, he looks a bit of a player, mate.
Brilliant. Like they say, class is permanent, and you can see it. It seems like he's come back with a point to prove, which is important. He's got the right attitude, and yeah, he's just such a tidy player, and you could see instantly that we've missed that. Since Lanzini's been out, we've missed that player who can
link. It's that
link player who can sort of play them passes that no one else sees and make things happen, and we've really missed that. So yeah, he looks a fantastic signing. I will say, actually, I was going through a couple of the season review DVDs at the weekend as well, and I watching a couple of clips in Lanzini. Man, I tell you, we miss him so much. Like, you forget how good he actually is.
He's goal scorer as well, mate. Goal scorer. Like last season, I remember, like the last goal the season he scored against Everton. Fantastic. I just like to say, hopefully, this is what I'm saying about the FA Cup as well. You know, you get through this next round, and then potentially another round, and then for that sort of quarter-final stage, you know, you may have Lanzini coming back, Wilshere back. I don't know, you just get a little bit excited thinking about that potential, you know, Lanzini and Nasri sort of pulling the strings in midfield with Rice just sitting there. It's very exciting, very, very exciting potentially. Yeah, that's about it for West Ham, unless there's anything else you can think about West Ham-wise.
No, there doesn't seem to be. I'm trying to think, because it has been a while since we did a podcast. I don't think there's been anything else around the club that's really...
Obviously, we went up to 60,000.
Yeah,
well. That's another thing.
Did that happen since?
Yeah, because first game was the Brighton game.
That's right.
Or the Birmingham game. Can't remember, Brighton or Birmingham.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good. You know, it's good. It's good to see. I imagine.
Oh, that's some news, mate. There you go. Actually, talking about the stadium, they did announce this week that Billy Bonds will be getting a stand named after him.
Oh, good.
Rightly so, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you're talking about a man who's an absolute legend of the club, most appearances ever, will never ever be beaten either. No. Yeah, rightly so for Billy. You know, they stabbed him in the back a few years ago when they got rid of him. So, yeah, rightly so that our legends are celebrated. Right, so let's just go on to another bit of football news, mate, just because there's quite a lot of time left. What do you make of this Leeds thing with the spying?
I have to say, mate, I haven't really read anything about it. I saw the headlines, but I don't really care enough I didn't really care enough to really look into it. So from what I understand, they were spying on their training sessions, and he had like dockets of...
Yeah, and then he's basically admitted that he's spied on every single game this season.
Yeah, potential tactics and substitutions and blah, blah, blah.
I don't see... I'll be honest, I don't see much wrong with it.
I don't really. To me, it's good scouting.
I can understand there are pundits out there that said, oh, you know, there's this gentleman thing of it's a game and you're getting an advantage. But I can't remember who said, one of the pundits did make a point of, really, you can watch every single football match now, 90 minutes all the way through, I don't see much wrong with it. It might be a controversial opinion. I don't know.
I don't really see. I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Because someone made a point about the Man United Tottenham game. That was what it was. They said, if Ole Gunnar, so not Ollie, if Poch would have seen how Man United were going to set up, he would have realised, right, we're not going to push our fullbacks back, and then that Rashford goal would never have happened. But I don't know.
It's difficult, isn't it?
I think it's all hindsight and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
very difficult. I don't know. I don't see. I don't think there's massive amounts wrong with it. But I don't know. They need to make bigger fences around their training ground.
Yeah. They are top of the league as well, so they're having a good old season, Leeds, and it'd be nice to see them back actually, because they're a big club. It'd be nice to see them back. Yeah, so the Premier League's loads to do, loads to go still. Obviously, some fantastic Champions League games in there as well. Just to touch on, because we always do a little bit of boxing and stuff. There's some exciting matches being made. Obviously, James DeGale versus Chris Eubanks, a good one that's coming up. Amir Khan versus Terence Crawford. And what do you make of Manny versus Broner?
It was. I watched it literally this afternoon. I watched it. I didn't sit up to watch it live. And Broner's a joke. He's a.
Okay, so he's deluded.
Yeah, he's deluded.
Absolutely
He's a
deluded.
joke. He didn't throw. He just weren't throwing any punches. He was just. I don't know what he was doing.
Apparently, there's a stat. Probably is a real stat as well, that he only landed a maximum of 6 punches a round. That is the most punches he landed in one round, was 6. And then he's claiming that he won.
What they're saying, it was less than he averaged. He averaged less than 8 punches a round, which is pathetic, especially when you're fighting a fighter like Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, he's
who's got to land 30, 40 on you.
He's 40 years old now. 10 years ago he was landing 400 punches a fight. Ridiculous. Yeah. But someone who's like that. To just not throw. I don't know what he was doing, and he got beat up. He got beat up. There's a couple of shots where, again, if Manny was a couple of years younger, he was.
It's all over.
Gone. He was out. Absolutely deluded. And
obviously, he called out Floyd after the fight, didn't he? And I've said it to you in text this morning, mate. If I was him, I would stay well away, unless you're going to earn like £200 million or something like that from the fight.
Mayweather don't need it. He don't need it. He's got that W over him on his record. He don't need the rematch. He don't need the money.
I'd like to see it. I tell you, if I could pick a fight out for Manny now, maybe as a sort of last fight, maybe put him in with Triple G or something like that. If he can get his weight up, or Triple G gets his weight down, that would be an absolute war.
It would, but I think Manny would get bad. I absolutely love Pacquiao. He's one of my favourite boxers of all time, hands down. And he's one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Putting him in the ring with Triple G, you'd get bad. I don't think that would be a contest.
Or again, I think he's a bit too big for him. But a guy I absolutely love is Lomachenko. Absolute fantastic boxer. That whole stable, I don't know whether you know that stable, mate. It's him, Lomachenko, and that Usyk as well, the bloke who beat Tony Bellew. That is a great stable, that is, of boxers. One more thing then about AJ, mate. Who do you think he will actually fight? It just looks like Eddie Hearn's just turning him into a cash cow now and trying to avoid the Wilder Fury fights.
Typical Hearns, isn't it? I can't say how I feel about Eddie Hearn and the Hearn family. Can't stand them scumbags. I don't know.
Because this Miller guy, who's this Miller guy?
He's probably. I think he will probably fight White next. Afterwards, I think he'll fight White. Wilder Fury will probably have their rematch, and then he'll probably fight the winner. I don't know.
We haven't actually spoke about that. I know it was a long time ago, mate. Just very, very quickly, that Wilder Fury, that punch. How the hell did that geezer get up from that punch?
Crazy. And the thing is if he hadn't have dropped, he would have won the fight.
Yeah, I know.
If he hadn't have gone down, he would have won the fight. But yeah.
Yeah. And what do you make of all that argument of, he was down for 12 seconds? Mate, I'd still be on the floor after bloody 24 hours. Let alone 12 seconds.
I don't know.
But I think Fury proved a few people wrong that night. He was good. He's always going to be suspect for getting caught. He's always going to get caught at some point. But my God, has he got some chin on him? Jesus Christ! Do you think Anthony Joshua would have got up from that?
I don't know. He got up.
I don't like AJ. I love AJ.
He got up from when Klitschko dropped him, he got up from that, which most fighters wouldn't have. And I still think Klitschko could have finished the fight if he'd have pressed him.
Yeah.
But he got up from that, so you know.
Yeah. There's some exciting times ahead, and obviously, I don't like Amir Khan, but Amir Khan versus Terence Crawford. I hope that is bye Amir's sort of retirement fight, basically.
No, he won't retire. He's
because he's a cash cow, isn't he? He's a cash cow. What they call him, journeyman.
He's
cash
turning
cow
into
journeyman
one.
now.
He's such a talented fighter, but as we all know, just absolutely no chin, glass chin.
Yeah, and Eubank Groves very quickly. It's not Eubank Groves, sorry, Eubank DeGale. What do you predict?
I was going to say, I ate both of them. So
I don't like either, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd like to see DeGale win it, to be honest with you.
I'd rather DeGale won it, just because I ate Eubank even more. But yeah, I don't like either of them. So
no, I'm not the biggest fan of either. So very quickly, a couple of predictions, mate. Obviously, the Wimbledon game and the Wolves game. That's how we'll end the show today. Wimbledon game.
I think we'll win. I'm going to say it's away from home, so we probably won't keep a clean sheet. I'm going to say it's going to mirror the last game and 3-1.
3-1. Do you think Arnie will have any role to play in that game?
I don't know. He might be on the bench. I think it'd be interesting to see.
I think it's quite a good one. I think it's quite a good one to bring him in, actually, because you got to think there are only going to be about 700 West Ham fans there, so it's not. He hasn't got to face that real hostile atmosphere straight away. And maybe it's a
good point, mate.
Bring him in. Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see if he's in the squad.
I expect Zande Silva to start, and I hope he scores. I hope the guy scores. Be nice. And the Wolves game, can't see us getting much out of that. Not at Wolves as well.
I don't know. I can see it being lots of goals in that one. It really depends who we have fit.
That Hot is a great player, and that Jimenez is a fantastic player as well. They've got a very good side.
I don't know. I think it depends on who we have fit. If Arnie's in the right mood, if Arnie plays, I think we've got a chance. If you play Carroll up front, forget it. So it depends on the team.
Yeah. That is it, guys. Obviously, we've just tried to sort of mash it together with some news and stuff that's happened over the last few months that we've been away. We'll try and get another show sort of weekly again, or even fortnightly. We'll try and do our best. I will be back with a preview and review of the Wimbledon game. Until then, guys, any questions or any topics you'd like us to talk about next time, please drop them in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Come on, you irons. Let's go.
Cheers.